What's going on, guys? Xailas back here with you with another little update to my Hot Toys Raiden 1/6 scale review. Wanted to show you guys a couple of things. First of all, as you may be able to see right away, I've done a little repaint work on the figure, so you can see in some of the areas that I was pointing out in my review, they have been retouched. So for example, right inside here, I've kind of added the browns that I was talking about in my review, where they kind of forgot to add the browns in there on that part of the muscle there. I went ahead and matched up the brown to the torso as best I could and went ahead and gave that a nice brown shade in there, just like it should be. The strapping also has been repainted, the kind of tan, desert tan color that it should be according to the game and the artwork for Raiden. And of course that extends all the way through the back of the figure as well, all the strapping in the arms. Basically every place where there's a strapping on the figure, it has been repainted to the proper color. And I just think it looks so much better. So you can see here as the figure turns around to the back, the strapping that extends back behind the legs has also been repainted the tan back here as well, and the straps in the back that kind of go from the top of the torso has all been repainted. So it just looks so much better in my opinion, so much more accurate to the actual design as opposed to the standard gray that the figure comes painted in. It's a really easy modification to make if you guys want to repaint your own figures or do this on your own. Just get a kind of a nice sandy tan. I actually used an actual rattle can spray can, and I sprayed it onto a plate and then used an old brush that I didn't need and actually painted the correct color onto the straps themselves. Just as long as you have a fairly steady hand, you can really get in there and get the straps, get all the gray parts without really overdoing it too much and getting on the other parts of the figure. And if you do, you can kind of scratch it off before it dries too much. And it really just makes this figure even better when you correct the paint issues. Aside from that, I actually did correct the other major issue that I had with the figure, which was with the sculpt in the arms here. I'll pull it in a little closer here so you can see. As I had mentioned in my review, they actually had gotten the sculpt a little tiny bit wrong in the arms, in that they had put the armor plating in front of the arm here where it should be actually behind, and I went ahead and corrected the issue. It's actually a fairly easy fix. All you got to do is just switch the plates around, so put them on the opposite arms from which they come, and that will actually correct the issue. The plates themselves are completely the same. The actual dimensions of them are exactly the same, so you can switch them around to the other side and it will actually match perfectly. But now, as you can see in the back of the figure, the armor plate is now correctly behind the arm as opposed to in front of the arm on both sides. You can see on this side over here as well, that plate is actually kind of leading right up to the back elbow pad there, which is the way it should be. That's the way the armor is actually designed in the game. So I think that the only reason that this happened out of the manufacturing plant is because they just went ahead and put the plates on the wrong arms. It's not necessarily that they're sculpted incorrectly, it's just that they're put on the wrong arms. And so that's an easy fix. You do have to kind of pry the plates off of the arms there. There's pretty much two little pegs that go in, one close to the wrist here and one a little further up the forearm. And then there's just kind of like a little bit of super glue that's holding the plate on. But if you get like a really small flathead screwdriver and get it up under there, of course being very careful, get it up under there and kind of pry it out, then you can get these things to pop off. I did have a little bit of an issue on one side where the super glue had stuck in really strong in one of the pegs, so I just had to be really careful. I actually hit it with a little bit of heat with my heat gun and loosened it up just a little bit, but be real careful. Don't try and rip it off if it's giving you some resistance. Just take your time with it. This is a very expensive figure, but yeah, switch those armor plates around on the forearms and you'll have a more accurate figure. But aside from that, I also wanted to show you guys what I discovered. I had left an annotation on my review that my right arm on my figure was broken. It had a broken joint in the elbow, as is very common with this figure. And so I did contact Sideshow, and they went ahead and sent me a replacement arm. So he does have the replacement arm in there, and it's nice and fixed up now, so no problems there. But I went ahead and took the opportunity to kind of dissect the old arm and find out what exactly is going on here. Why are these arms breaking? And so I have the old arm here, and I went ahead and took the rubber skin off of the arm. This is actually just the rubber skin without the arm inside of it. And here is the arm itself. Okay, so this is what the arm looks like without the skin. This is inside the rubber skin. And so the elbow joint is actually not a ball joint. It's just a hinge joint that you can see. Just a hinge joint in there. And what's going on is this little plastic piece. Let's see if I can, sorry about that, see if I can get my light to pick that up. This little hinge piece right here is actually what's causing the problem. It's actually breaking because this little piece of plastic right here is just breaking off. You can see the cracks and the little fissures right there that are causing the joint to no longer have that snappy action. So you can see this is completely cracked right here, completely broken, and that's what's causing that to happen. And I think it gets caught kind of up on the top of the bicep there, or on the bottom of the bicep, so you can see where it's getting caught there just a little bit, and that causes this to crack. So it's actually cracking and breaking right there, and that's what's going on with your broken arms, guys, with these figures. So just a little bit of information there. Sideshow has been awesome with sending out replacement parts for this figure, so if you do have a broken arm, definitely contact them, get on it as soon as you can, and they should take good care of you. Alright guys, that's just a quick update on this figure. I hope you guys liked the repaint on this a little bit. Very simple thing. I didn't go too crazy on it, but I just think it makes the figure so much better. I hope you guys are enjoying this figure if you picked him up. If not, definitely pick him up, man. He's awesome. He's really cool, especially if you got good joints in your arms and everything. There's no problems. Definitely one to have in your collection. Alright guys, Xailas out. I'll talk to you later.